Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, it's July. It's like July 3rd, I think, today. And I figured, you know what? Let me show you guys what the garden looks like so far this growing season. I've got some wins and some losses to report to you all, so let's check it out. Come on. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Cheers. This here. Here's the flight feathers. All right, so first let's go up to the greenhouse. Greenhouse has been basically manufacturing cucumbers for the past month now. And I'm talking like without end. So check this out, you guys. And we have got beautiful, beautiful cucumbers. Just producing like mad. I've got some more, what they call Pflücksalat here in Germany. Leaf lettuce, essentially. Back over here, I've got more cucumbers, just going nutty. Peppers are looking pretty good. This is a mix between some bell peppers and some snack peppers are in here as well. Got some more back there if you guys can see that. Peppers are doing pretty good. Pretty excited about that so far. Now these are some bush beans that I planted a little while ago, and they're setting out some nice flowers, which is a really good sign. And then also too, I've got these guys, and already showing a little bit of evidence of some mold or some mildew, and that's really not a big deal. From my understanding and my experience, it's just kind of par for the course. And then over here, we've got some more peppers, nice sets coming in. Another thing I'm really proud of is these grapes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've got these grapes growing inside the greenhouse, and they're creating a little bit of a shade, which is good. You can see some nice clusters here. And hopefully these are seedless. Not 100% sure yet. We'll find out, but so said the tag when I bought it. All right, so let's go back over here and check out some potatoes. The first batch of potatoes I planted, and they're doing really well. Take you for a little walk in the woods. We'll get back around to the other side of the property here. Hey, Willow, how's it going? What's going on, dog? What are you doing? Over here, I just got a new little space. I'm gonna transplant some tomatoes in today, and I can explain to you why I'm transplanting tomatoes here in a second. I've got over here some, what do you call it, cauliflower, and then a bunch of mixed zucchinis, and some more tomatoes. I've got tomatoes coming out of our ears. We've been eating off these zucchini for a couple weeks now. Absolutely delicious. Some of these are getting a little too big, but they are jamming. They are jamming, let me tell you. And over here, we've got some nice, huge, giant sunflowers. I'm about 6'2", and these guys are sitting at about almost 7 foot right now, which is pretty awesome. I know they're gonna keep growing. Over here we've got some cilantro, some basil. Basically half of it is pretty much snail food. This is an organic garden, so we're gonna have a lot of pests in here that I gotta compete with. We've got some kind of the back end of these peas. They're starting to, it's getting a little bit later in the season for peas. As you can see, they're starting to kind of lose a little bit of luster, but we're still eating off those. And I've got some succession peas growing to the other side of it, which is pretty cool. Now, these strawberries are still cranking out strawberries, which is really cool. It's kind of intermittent throughout the season. I'm excited about that. And I posted a video not too long ago about planting up these little bad boys here. They're doing pretty good. Back over here on this other side, we've got loads and loads of celery. Celery is doing mighty fine, and then lots of tomatoes just popping out everywhere. Popping out everywhere. Loving it. And on this little row here, we've got a mix between chives and carrots. Chive and carrot row. And look, end cap of a marigold. How nice is that? And then over here is a nice row of peppers and some more snail food. These are the bush beans getting devoured by snails. They come out every morning almost, very early, and try to combat against that infestation of snails I got in my yard, but what are you gonna do? And then over here behind me, all this area here is all potted potatoes. They're doing really good. Very impressed by these guys. And some more potted zucchini. These guys are showing some evidence of, I don't know, maybe just some lack of nutrients. I'm thinking next season, I'm not gonna do too much when it comes to zucchini or squashes and containers. Now on to the transplanting of tomatoes. So I'm gonna take these are Berkeley tie-dyed tomatoes. I planted these in container, as you can see here. They're like in a fiber pot and a compost, and I had some fish emulsion and some phosphate pellets. And they were doing really, really well before they started to actually put out any blooms and before they started to put out any tomatoes. Now, if you check this out, you can see there's a lot of cracking going on. Okay, and then these leaves that actually when it foliates, when it starts to put out all of its leaves, it doesn't really fold them out completely flat and open. And I'm kind of curious about really what that means, but I have to tell you, these have been planted the same time as the ones that I'm going to show you next over here that are in the ground. And they are, if you do a side-by-side comparison, it's incredible. The ones in the ground are just doing way better. So I did an experiment not too long ago, and I decided to take one of these Berkeley tie-dyes that were in a container, and I ended up putting it in the ground in a raised bed where I'd recently harvested some garlic and onions. And that was about 3 weeks ago. So let's go check out the results of that versus what these look like in the pot. Before I go show you those tomatoes, check out this nice little blackberry bush. It is going nuts. We are gonna have some blackberries. Super stoked on this one. Planted this one up a couple years ago, and this definitely is for sure the best potential harvest we have coming on so far. So really excited about that. All right, so check this out. This is the same exact tomato that I removed from the container and put it inside of a raised bed. And this is what it looks like here. That's that. Now this is set up basically in a kind of a mix between a compost and topsoil with some chicken manure fertilizer. But the new growth that's coming out, it looks pretty normal in comparison to the older growth, which is just nutrient deprived. It's got some yellowing in it, and you can kind of see here that all these leaves here are just kind of curled up, but the new growth is opening up. So I am definitely calling it. The reason why is it just does not like being in those pots, or at least in that, not necessarily pots specifically, but at least in the composition of soil to whatever nutrient ratio I put in there. Maybe it just was not enough. And really to prove to you the difference between pots and putting them directly in the ground. And quite a few of these here are also Berkeley tie-dyes. And as you can see here, these are going nuts. Some of these plants are about 7.5 feet tall already. Kind of give you it's hard to give you kind of a scale here, but much healthier, much happier. On the backside, I've got a couple different other assortments here, but they're doing really well. We've got some nice little red tomatoes coming on. Beginning of July, man, it's awesome. So stoked. So what I've learned definitely is to just go into the ground with these tomatoes. Cool, guys. So that's my quick little July garden tour. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope all of you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Independence Day to all you Americans out there. And we will hope to see you guys soon. All the best now. Ciao, ciao.